This is a production of the Para-X Radio Network.
Your source for everything paranormal.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para-X, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Inside the Box RTSC Talk Radio. Real-time spirit communication. Ghost Box Research. We will help you hear the unheard. Inside the Box RTSC Talk Radio. Can you hear them? Now, here is your host, Bruce Halliday and Lori Hull.
Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Inside the Box. It's good to be back. We were absent last week. Little Halloween festivities. Actually, we're short one tonight again. Lori is in Salem, Massachusetts, where all good witches go, and she said she'd try her best to be on tonight, but I guess she hasn't worked it out yet. But she'll if she's able, whenever she's ready, she'll just call in and she'll be on. Hopefully, she'll be able to join us. Let's see. I usually like to, I'm going to start off the show from now on with some news, some Ghost Box news from the past week, which there really is none. Yeah, things been pretty quiet in the Ghost Box community. No new technology to speak of. No, I mean, I've gotten a few new members at my Yahoo group. A few new people got interested in the communication and asked about the Jensen. A couple of people got new Jensens and wanted to hack them, and that's going on. So we had a few new people come into the communication, as far as I know. That contacted me anyway, and I did later on. I'll be playing the files from I did a cemetery investigation. I did a military cemetery from the War of 1812. It's a really old, broken down, decrepit, neglected cemetery. All that, most of the headstones are knocked down and illegible. But I got some really good communication out of there and some really surprising validation. So I'll be playing those files in the second hour. In the first hour, we have a great guest tonight, Joe Clark from Commonwealth Paranormal. Joe is an avid Ghost Box communicator, and he uses a Radio Shack hack, I believe, in his investigations, and he has some good YouTube videos. I believe that show you the type of communication that he's getting, and you can listen to the type of Ghost Box communication that Joe is achieving. All right, without any further ado, I want to bring on Joe Clark. Joe, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Joe, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to Inside the Box.
Well, thank you. Glad to be here.
I know you're just getting over being sick, Joe. So if you feel like you got a cough, just go right ahead and cough. Okay.
Okay. Hopefully, I won't. But
I mean, don't feel self-conscious. Like, I remember a couple of months ago, I had like this really bad bronchitis, and during the show, I was just, I was coughing my brains out. But that's human nature. If you need to do it, do it. Don't worry about it.
All right.
So Joe, I'm sure a lot of people in the chat room know you. You're a regular here at Para-X, and I know you do a lot of you do a lot of Ghost Box communication. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well, how'd you get started with the box, Joe? How'd you come across doing Ghost Box communication?
I actually had heard about it several months prior. Excuse me. several months before I actually tried it. And I had different investigators were asking me, "Have you heard of the Ghost Box or the Frank's Box?" And that's what I heard of it, but I'm not familiar with it. And then I started doing a little bit of research on it, and I actually saw it in use. I actually saw the Frank's Box in use on one of the paranormal television shows.
Right.
And I thought, that looks interesting. So then one day I just happened to be on eBay playing around, and I ran across this Radio Shack hack that was on there, and it was only like $30. And I thought, it's worth a try.
Right.
So I purchased it and had some great results with it, actually.
Well, which box did you use? Which box did you get? The 469?
Yes, I have the 469.
Yeah, because that was up to the point that they discontinued them. Radio Shack. That was the most popular model of Radio Shack hack. I mean, almost everybody I know that's come into the communication in the past couple of years has a 469. It's just, it was a great box. It's just a shame that that they discontinued them. But there's a couple of alternatives out there now that have taken up the gauntlet. And for new people coming in, there's a couple of pretty good alternatives out there. So,
right.
What was the first time you ever used it? Can you tell us about what what your experience was the first time you turned the box on?
Actually, the first time we ever used it was we were at the Coal Miners Museum in Van Lear, Kentucky, and I can't tell you what came through because it was profanity, but
right.
So we had some great results with it that night, needless to say.
Well, as far as profanity goes, Joe, I believe that, I tell a lot of people, I get quite a few emails about that, and some posts on the Yahoo group about vulgarity and profanity that comes over the box and what should be done about it. I mean, what I do is, later on, like, I'm going to be playing some files from an investigation I did at a cemetery, and there was one of the files that came from that session was, a loud and clear, vulgarity. I mean, they told me F you, loud and clear. I mean, in no uncertain terms. And what I usually do is I say, okay, that's all well and good, but, I'm not going to listen to that kind of communication. So, you might as well just stop right now, or, I'm going to shut the session down. And that usually takes care of it. I mean, it's usually, it's usually a passing thing. But I consider it great validation. Because we do receive, over a box, we do receive radio broadcasts that are public from the public airwaves, and you're not going to get those type of. They're not going to broadcast that type of vulgarity on public airwaves. So if
exactly,
it's very good. It's a good validation file, but it's a negative communication. So it's it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another.
Right, and that was the response that I got too. Was the FU?
Right. Yeah, they seem to like. There's a couple of guys over there that I think just run around. Whenever there's an open box session, they run around just yelling that out. I mean, it's like every once in a while that phrase pops up here and there.
I asked the question. I said, why are you here? And that was the response that I got.
Yeah, I mean, that's, did you get, was that the first response you ever got from a ghost box?
Yes.
How encouraging, right? How encouraging that is.
Exactly.
Did you go on with the session? Did you get anything other than that in your first session?
Yes, we got a few more things. And a couple of those again were profanity, and that was pretty much it. The first session.
But I mean, once you get that first session under your belt, then you actually do get some communication that you're aware of and that you hear in live, in real time. You're hooked. I mean,
exactly.
There's no way you're not turning that box on again and again and again. So, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I just got an IM from Lori. She said Skype doesn't seem to be working where she is. So I'll see what she does. She's writing me hello. Yeah. Well, I can't get it. I can't translate her instant messages. So if she's able to get through, I'll call in. Okay. Yeah. She said I finally got through. Let me see. I'll try to bring her in. Hold on a second,
Okay.
Joe. Let's see. This Skype, I'll tell you. It's like, you have to, I'm sorry, folks. Bear with me. I'm trying to bring Lori in. It's kind of, you kind of know what you're doing with Skype, but then you don't know where it is or what, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Let's see. Okay, let's see if she can come in. Lori, you there?
Hello? I'm here.
Hey, what's up, kiddo?
I gotta move, though.
You gotta move?
Yeah, I got some special guests here for you to have on, too.
Oh, really? Really? Okay. I mean, that's for you to have on, you mean. I mean,
Is Joe here?
It's your show, too. Yeah, Joe's here. Joe's with us. We've been chatting it up for a good 10 minutes now. Joe,
right.
Say hi to Lori, Joe.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Joe.
How are you?
I'm great. I don't know why, but it took me, I could not get through on Skype.
Right.
Until just now.
Okay. Well, listen, better late than never, right, Laura?
I mean, I guess I was sitting there looking at your little Skype symbol. It had that circle thing going around and around. It just wasn't connecting.
How's Salem?
Fun.
Yeah, huh? You better hope they're not running around with any torches out there.
Well.
Who do
oh my
you,
God, you guys! There's like no sodas in here.
Who you? Well, are you talking to us or?
No.
Are you on an investigation actually, or what's going on in Salem?
No. Are you on the air right now?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, hi guys.
What? What are you doing in Salem? You want to tell everybody what you're doing in Salem? Or?
Okay, everybody. It's my daughter Erica's 18th birthday.
Oh,
so we brought her to Salem.
Yeah, tell her we said happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Erica. Everyone says happy birthday, Erica. She said thank you.
Tell her the whole free world is listening, and they all said happy birthday,
yeah.
Erica.
The whole free world on Parax.
Okay, go ahead. What else is going on in Salem? I mean, are you there just for your daughter's birthday, or?
No, I mean, we saw some of the stuff like the Witch Museum, and we went on a couple tours and saw some haunted places.
Wow, that's great.
I asked them what they thought of ghost box research. Some of the people who said they were paranormal investigators, and they said that they think that you can make something out of nothing on it. So
really, well, evidently they're not experienced investigators.
Well, that's what I was thinking, but I want to argue with them right then. So.
Nah, you don't. Once you get that type of response, you know enough to just it's not worth the argument. So just oh, okay, great, and you just walk away. Joe, I'm sorry we took the attention away from you. You were right in the middle. Lori, Joe was right in the middle of telling us how he got involved with the ghost box. Well,
you know what? That's great because I have to move downstairs, so I'm gonna have to disconnect and then reconnect again.
Oh, okay. All right. So what you do is just hang up and IM me when you're ready to reconnect, and I'll bring you in.
Okay, thanks.
All right. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Soon.
All right. Bye-bye. Joe, I'm sorry for that interruption. Yes. Okay, so you like you were saying that you got some vulgarity, you got but then you're hooked. I mean, even with the vulgarity, once you know it's communication coming through, you're hooked.
Exactly.
So, well, tell us a little about your paranormal group, Commonwealth Paranormal. How did that come about, and how did they feel about using ghost boxes in your investigations and stuff? Okay,
well, Commonwealth Paranormal, we actually became a group in early 2008. Prior to that, I was a member of an area TAPS family group.
Right.
And so in the spring of 2008, I just felt like that I had accomplished all I could accomplish with the TAPS group, and I needed to do something else. So I started Commonwealth Paranormal, and things have gone really well for us. And as far as the ghost box goes, they love it. Every time I go on an investigation, the first question I get from the group is, "Did you bring the ghost box?"
Yeah, I know the feeling.
I mean, we don't always use it. A lot of times we kind of run out of time, and we don't always use it, but we always try to.
Right. Right. Well, you know what? I feel that you know, I mean, I've been involved in the paranormal for about 14 years now, and you know, I mean, before the ghost box came along, I mean, the evidence gathering was okay, but I mean, like, you know, how much EMF reading could you get? How much temperature reading could you get? You know, traditional EVPs were whispers at best. You know, once in a while you would get a decent EVP. Photography was limited to, you know, well, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, it was very, evidence gathering was very limited. But now I feel that, you know, when you go on an investigation with a ghost box, I mean, you're getting the best evidence gathering possibility that you can have. I mean, what's better than having, you know, the entity that may be grounded or earthbound at that location to actually speak to you and tell you their own story, or tell you what the situation is with them, why they're there, who they are. You know, I mean, none of your other evidence gathering tools are going to give you that type of a response or that type of data gathering. So I think a ghost box is the #1 tool in your arsenal. You know what I mean? I'm sure you agree with me on that.
Yeah, I actually do. I love it.
So now, what have you been on any investigations recently?
I've been on. I went to a cemetery the other night. I assisted another group, and I was dealing with the flu at the time, and I was sitting at home, of course, and this is late in the evening. Had a group call me and said, "We're at a cemetery, and half of our team didn't show up. Can you come and assist us?"
Right.
Well, here I was, down with the flu. Temperature was in the mid-30s. I take off and go out into the cemetery and investigate. Probably not a good move on my part, but I did. I didn't stay long though. So.
Well, did you get to use the ghost box at that?
No, I didn't. Not at that particular night.
Okay, so the last investigation you were on with the ghost box, can you tell us about that? I mean, see, what I'm trying to do is, like, lately, I'm trying to find out, like, all the guests that I have on are usually field investigators or come from a paranormal investigation group that are using the box in the field, as opposed to, you know, controlled environment, like in their home or wherever it may be.
Yeah. But the last investigation that I used it on, I was, again, assisting another group, and it was in a vacant house that's extremely active. But strangely, we never got anything using the ghost box.
Really? Now that's rare. That's really rare. Was it?
Didn't get anything at all.
I mean, nothing. You're talking about nothing from what you believe to be in the house, or nothing.
And
period?
we didn't experience any activity at all at night. We didn't get anything on the ghost box, and we didn't get any other evidence either. So, and that was kind of strange for that location, because we usually at least get an EVP or something.
And it's really strange for a ghost box session, because usually you'll, without a doubt, get the yeses and nos and, you know, your basic communication, other than, you know, it may not be indicative to the place that you're in or what you're looking for in that location, but you'll always get the basic yeses, nos. You didn't even get that?
No.
Wow.
We didn't get anything. It was very strange.
And something must have been blocking the communication, and I mean, because...
Had to be.
Yeah, it's... you run into that sometimes. Run into that sometimes.
And we had some new investigators. That was their first investigation, and you know, that could have been a hindrance as well. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, if you go in without, you know, you have to be in the right frame of mind. You have to have, you know, everything has to be working in sync for you to have a really good session. And if the entity that was located, if there was an entity at that location, if it was not, you know, if it was a negative entity, or it was, it could actually use the energy that's contained in that location to block communication.
Right.
You know, if it's so inclined. You know, but you know, usually even if that's the case, you'll get a couple of nasty communications coming through. You know what I mean? Right. But you sent me a bunch of files, which we'll play in a little bit here. But you know, what do you remember where you got those?
Yeah, they came from 3 different locations.
Okay.
Some of them came from a private residence. a lot of them I sent you came from the Coal Miners Museum that I mentioned earlier.
Right.
And then several came from Mullins Log Cabin Country Getaway, which is it's a log cabin retreat here in Kentucky.
Right.
And several came from there.
Now you do a lot of. Do you find that you do a lot of private homes or private locations? Or
we do a few. It kind of comes in spurts.
Yeah.
It's been a while actually since I've done a location. I mean a private residence. But yeah, we do those.
Have you ever? Okay, hold on a minute, Joe. Let me bring Lori back in.
Okay.
Okay, ringing. You there?
Hello.
Hi.
I'm here.
Okay, great.
Hey guys.
I was just
Down
asking.
here, right here in the haunted Hawthorne Hotel, historic haunted Hawthorne Hotel in Salem, Massachusetts, and we're in the haunted part of the hotel.
Really?
There's a ghost named George here apparently.
Does he want to get on the air?
George?
Yeah.
I don't know. I left my ghost box upstairs too.
You see.
Stupid. Yeah, I can call my kids and have them bring it down. They're up in the room, and they ordered room service. I went up there and they were eating, and I was like, "What?"
Did they at least get you a cup of coffee or something like that?
No.
Oh, that's a shame. I was just asking Joe about private investigations that he does in that he may have done in private homes. Joe, as far as that goes with the private investigations, like if you do someone's home, if you do a ghost box session, and the person that you're doing the investigation for is in attendance, does it scare them at all? Do they get nervous when they hear the communication coming from the box, or does it shock them, or what seems to be your experience in that area?
So far, people have been okay with it. I guess some of them have been surprised. But nobody's been terrified or anything yet.
Well, when you hear, I know the first time, Lori always laughs at this, the first time that I ever did a live spirit communication session was, we didn't have boxes at that time. The only thing available was a Frank's box, an original, and that wasn't available. I mean, those were as scarce as hen's teeth. And I wound up having two of them myself, but there's at that time there was nobody was getting any. So what we were subject to was me and maybe one or two other people that were doing anything were doing manual sweeps on a boom box.
Mm-hmm.
And I did my first. I turned on the first time I ever turned it on, and did a manual sweep. The first sweep of the dial, I got my name, and I actually shut the radio off and ran to the next room. Because I never really, honestly, I never expected to ever hear that type of communication, because I was a staunch traditional EVPist, and I had, as well as I do, anyone that knows that has any experience in traditional EVP, Laura, you could attest to this, is that it's nothing compared to ghost box communication. I mean, you may get.
I agree.
Yeah, you may get the odd A plus traditional EVP where you can actually hear the words, to a certain degree, but nothing like ghost box communication. And that's sort of what I was expecting, that whispery type of communication.
Not in the picture.
Sorry, Laura? Laura, did you say something?
No, I'm coughing and clearing my throat.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you said something. Yeah, so that's, when I turned mine on the first time, I got a little panicky, and I had a lot of experience in the paranormal by that time, and it still spooked me, but that's why I say, some people I talk to, they say that, people will not, after hearing that, they get so adamant about there actually being something in their home that they won't stay there. And people say that's why, I don't do a ghost box session anymore in a private home if the homeowner is present, because sometimes it spooks them to the point where they don't want to stay in the location, in the home. So you've never experienced that, have you?
Not yet.
Well, let's hope you never do, because what do you do in that circumstance? I mean, how do you calm the person down? How do you get them back in their home? How do you get them to sleep in that home at night because I mean, regular people are not used to this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I mean, you know, I've had activity in my home due to ghost box sessions. With me closing down a session and closing the doorway up and leaving an entity stranded here in my home, and receiving, you know, as an occurrence of that, you know, light poltergeist activity, just for that entity to let me know, hey, I'm here, you know, and I have to get out. I have to get back where I belong. So, you know, I mean, that's what happens when that, you know, when you try to explain that to a private person. How do you tell them, okay, listen, you do have a ghost in your house, but, you know, there's nothing I could do about that, you know, but just go in, don't worry about it. I mean, you know, the average person's that's not gonna sit too well with the average person.
What I do, and maybe this is why I've not had a problem, is if I do a ghost box session, I will tell the client, look, you know, this is still a fairly new tool in the paranormal field. There's always a chance that what comes through could be radio waves.
Right.
And that kind of calms them down a little bit. If something does come through, you know, they can think, well, that's just radio. And I don't, you know, depends on what comes through. A lot of times I won't tell them any differently. Because I don't want, like, again, I don't want to scare them.
Yeah, right, exactly. Now, if they happen to catch something in real time, like their name, or, you know, they hear an answer to a question that you asked, I mean, there's no way you're going to really be able to hide that, right?
Right, exactly. Other than that, you just, like I said, you can always just say, well, you know, there's always a chance that it could be radio. And just kind of let it go with that.
Yeah, well, that's the safe bet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, I think if I was to do, I haven't done any really done any in-depth investigations in a while. I do a lot of, you know, my main focus is on controlled communication. And, you know, I think if I was to do private homes now, if I was to do a private dwelling, I would actually let the person know, you know, this part of the investigation is going to have to be, you know, we're going to have you excuse yourself from this part of the investigation, because I really wouldn't want to put myself in a position to even, you know, have a chance that would happen, you know, that I would have to explain this away where I couldn't explain it away. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but you know, that's just, I guess it's an occupational hazard, you know, for us.
Right.
Now, how often is the 469 the only box you have?
It's the only one I have. I've been thinking about upgrading, getting a newer one,
when are you going to get your Jensen?
I haven't done it yet.
When are you going to get your Jensen, Joe?
I don't know.
Because you know that's the hottest box out there today.
Get the Jensen, Joe. Get the Jensen. It's $15 at Target.
Yep.
Wow.
And it'll blow you away. You know what I mean? It'll blow you away. It's the best box, you know, that's out there today. Everybody's using it. It's the cheapest box, most inexpensive box. It's the smallest box we have, and it's the easiest to hack.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's a win-win-win situation. You know.
I'll have to try that.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. It's worth the effort. If you have a Target by your house, just stop in there. They got them on the shelf. And if you don't, you know, just let me know. I'll give you a link to go to.
Okay.
There's a guy that has an eBay store set up. And, you know, I've spoken to the guy back and forth a few times.
That was in there. That was there.
Sorry, Laura? Laura, you talking again?
Yeah, we're listening. We're listening.
Oh, okay. I hear you speaking. I don't know what.
Because you know there's a ghost here, so every once in a while something happens.
You're speaking to George. Okay. All right.
Well, tell the ghost we said hi.
Yeah, George. See if
George
wants to come on. See if he wants to come on and you know, say a few words to the people out there. Who's with you? Is anybody with you? Or are you all by yourself?
Yes. Don't you want to say hi to the people that are with me here?
Yes. Who is it?
In Haunted Salem? Well, see if you can guess who it is. I'm going to put them on now, okay?
Okay.
How you doing, guys?
Hey, who's this, Bill?
No, it's not Bill.
Okay. Keep talking.
All right. I live in New England.
Okay.
My initials would be PT.
PT. Paratom.
Yes, how are you?
What's up, buddy?
I'm
How you
good.
doing? How you doing, man?
How's everything?
Good. Hanging in there. How's by yourself?
Oh, we're doing fine live at the Hawthorne in Salem, Massachusetts.
That's great.
Saw a couple of shadows down here this evening, and so we're just kind of seeing what's going on.
You got your ghost box all warmed up there, Tom?
No, she left it up in the room.
You know, that Lori,
Yeah.
you can't, I don't know. So who's our next contestant?
Well, let me see. You might not know her, but if you're from Para X, you'll have seen her name, and she's known as my manager. And do you know who that would be?
No.
Just with that hint, you wouldn't. Okay, hold on for a minute. Let me see if I can coax her over.
All right.
What? Okay. Hold on for 1 second.
Go ahead. We got all the time in the world, right, Joe?
All right. Hey, Joe, how you doing?
Doing great. And yourself?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
It's like
Give me 1 second.
like
Let me
a
try to
Para
get
X
this young
old
lady,
home week, right?
this attractive young lady on here to say hi to you guys.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, who's this?
It's Jules.
Hey, Jules, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. This is Bruce. Joe Clark is here from Commonwealth Paranormal.
Hey, Joe. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you.
And I'm sure you know Lori.
Yes, we had a nice dinner.
Yeah, so, what'd you have?
What did we have?
Forgot
we
already?
had the veggie burger. Go figure. I had cashew chicken. It was very yummy.
Really? Cashew chicken? Also, you went for Oriental food?
No, not quite Oriental. It was it was New England fare.
Oh, it was New England. I didn't know New England food. Cashew chicken sounds Oriental to me. Okay. So everybody had a nice meal, right?
Mhm.
That's great.
Good time.
And
Good time hanging out.
how's your investigation going?
It's going. It's rather interesting.
Any personal experiences?
I'm just seeing a few shadows right now, trying to trace down some little blots of light that we're seeing.
Really? Any photographs? Any EVP sessions? Have you done any?
No, we've done a few photos. I haven't caught anything yet.
Okay.
Laurie left the ghost box upstairs.
Yeah, well, she's going to have to get somebody to bring that down. I mean, as that's probably your best bet for getting, getting some detailed. We were just talking about that actually. Speaking about that with Joe, that in an investigator's toolkit today, probably the ghost box is probably the number one data and evidence gathering tool that we have today. I mean, as far as consistent validation that there is an entity present, or there could be an entity in the
Right.
area. So, I mean, Laurie's going to have to bring that ghost box down and get you guys a good session. Yeah. Right,
We'll have to try to get that down here.
Yeah. She says, I'll call one of my kids and have them bring it down.
As soon as they finish with their room service up
Yeah,
there.
exactly. There you go. Just tell them to stay away from the mini bar, because, a bag of potato chips is like $12.
That's true.
I went on a cruise this summer, and they had a mini bar in the cabin, and you can't tell kids anything. And I told my daughter, I said, listen, don't touch the mini bar. There's a Yoo-hoo in there. The Yoo-hoo is like $9. You know what I mean? Don't touch the mini bar. Of course, I go out with my wife. I come back a couple of hours later. The mini bar's cleaned out.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So it wound up costing me like maybe, $45-$50 for the mini bar, But you got to make sure that, you can actually ask the hotel management or whatever to take your stuff out of the mini bar. You know what I mean? So
good point.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. I mean, who wants to pay like $8 for a Yoo-hoo? It's ridiculous.
I have a teenage daughter that would do the same. So
Yeah, and they have no value. You know why? Because we give them everything, just for the asking. When I was a kid, I had to be happy with with a milk crate with skate wheels nailed to it. That was my big. Like if I ever took an $8 Yoo-hoo out of a mini bar, I'd be walking around with stumps instead of legs today. So, At any case, so do we have anybody else there that wants to jump on and say hi?
Hold on just a minute.
Or we just am I going to be able to identify this person or?
Just us and the ghost.
Just you and the ghost.
Just us and the ghost.
Okay. Did by the way, let me see. Did Kat come back in the chat room, or is she still MIA?
She's still red.
She's still red. Okay. Well, she had a question for you, Joe.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to. I don't know if she's going to come back or not. But
I think she logged off for the night.
yeah, I think she said her husband needed some eBay time, so she was going to hang around for a while. But I guess he got done with his eBay.
I don't think we can do a box session down here. It would be like really loud and echoey.
Really? Well, where are you? What type of room is it?
We're in the basement.
Okay.
But it's kind of like a conference area. It looks like the inside of a ship.
Okay.
This is where they had ghost stock, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Ghost stock. Yeah, it was kind of like Woodstock for paranormal investigators, right?
It was good. Well, I don't know. I wasn't at it. I think Tom was at it.
Okay. So now,
Julie was at it.
What about this George character? What's the story with him?
I don't know. That's what the lady in the hotel said.
Oh, okay. Joe, I'm sorry. We're actually neglecting our guest, Warren.
That's okay.
Joe, as far as ghost box communication goes, how many sessions do you get? Do you do any controlled sessions?
No, I've never tried that.
Like you never did a session like in your home, or you only did you've only done sessions on investigations?
Yeah, that's been it.
Yeah,
I've never done a controlled session.
See, what happens with controlled sessions is, like, say you know that there's no you don't have any entities residing at your home, right?
Right.
Okay. So if you do a controlled session at your home, you're gonna get ethereal communication, like from the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're not going to get any grounded entities at your home because there are none. Now,
right.
There's definitely, you can tell the difference between the two types of communication, right, Laura? Okay, I guess she's not listening.
I can tell.
Well, you don't have to answer me. I mean, no.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess you can tell, but I don't do a lot of work with.
Yeah, right. You don't do a lot of. Yeah, you don't do a lot
God.
of. Yeah, you don't do a lot of.
I was gonna get a picture. We're having too much fun over here. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. What I mean to say.
Tom is here in a kilt, and he's
brother.
He's laying on the floor.
That's great. Where's Paul?
And he rolled over.
Tom, you got underwear on, Tom?
No, he doesn't.
That's great. Yeah, letting it all
They
hang.
asked if he had underwear on, and I said he didn't.
Commando kilt. That's great. Okay. Joe.
He scared the ghost away.
Swinging mighty low. Joe, listen. What I meant by that was you can actually tell. You can actually. Laura, you screwed me all up now.
I'm sorry.
Now all I'm doing is thinking about what's underneath Tom's kilt. That's not normal.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah.
Okay, well we're taking photos right now.
Okay, there you go.
They'll be posted on paratom.com.
No, make sure you post them on our website. Okay.
You put the timer on, Julia, so you don't touch anything on the back of the camera.
All right, Joe.
Yes.
What I meant to say by the difference in communication was if you were to do say a controlled session like at your house, and the communication that you receive actually sounds completely different than the type of communication you would receive from an entity that was in proximity to the box. The energy that's used to create the communication or to manipulate the fragments of sound is actually different. And I'm not stating this as fact, Joe. I'm stating this through my experience and from messages that I've gotten through the box over the years, and what I've gathered, the information I've gathered, and the experience I've had with both types of communication, lead me to this conclusion. I'm not stating this that it's fact. So when I say it, like if people are out there listening and they hear me say this is this and that's that, it's only my assertion of based on my experience.
Right.
The two types of communication actually sound different. Like the energy that's used to create the communication, one is pure spiritual energy. The other one is a combination of spiritual energy combined with ambient energy that's around, in proximity to the box itself. So it stands to reason it's gonna sound a bit different in volume, a bit different in speed, a bit different in it just sounds different. It's like if you were to listen to let's say if you were to listen to an orchestra on the radio, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you were to go to a theater and sit down and listen to an orchestra live. They may be playing the same music, the same instruments, but it's going to sound different,
Right.
So it's kind of along those lines. That's kind of the best analogy I could come up with on the fly here. But you'll see, like if you were to do a 5-minute box session, like when you get 5 minutes, some spare time, like just sit down in a quiet area where you're getting a good signal in your house, and just do a 5-minute basic session, basic questions. Anybody here that wants to communicate, or anybody that's there wants to communicate with me. What's your name? Can you say my name? Basic stuff.
Right.
And you'll actually hear the difference. Like if you play the files from that controlled session and you play some files from one of your investigation sessions, you'll say to yourself, "Wow, now I know what he was talking about. There is a difference, and it's a pretty pronounced difference." You know what I mean? Plus,
right.
You're going to get the communication that you receive from the other side, as opposed to an earthbound spirit. Spiritual energy. My theory on how the communication is sent is we have to have a melding, a mixing of our physical energy and spiritual energy that combines to facilitate the communication from the other side. You know what I mean? Now, if you get a spirit that's communicating from the spirit world, they have to manipulate the sound coming from the box based on a combined energy, theirs and ours, to use that energy to manipulate the box that's in our physical world. Manipulate the sound coming from the box that's in our physical dimension. So it's way harder than what an entity that's, say, earthbound, that's in proximity to the box in a location would need to use, could only use its energy and the ambient EMF energy or whatever energy you can use that's in proximity to the box to manipulate the fragments of sound. But it's in such close proximity to the box that the energy required, I'm assuming, it needs to use to manipulate those fragments to form the communication is a lot less complicated than, say, an entity communicating from the spirit world would need to do. So all this into the mix is what makes up the difference in the communication. So I mean, it'll be cool for you because you never did a controlled session like in your house. So for you to do it and then compare the two, it's like an eye opener. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they
can try that.
Yeah, and they can actually, the technicians that facilitate the box sessions, you have one even, on location investigations or whatever. You always have a technician, because once the box is turned on, it opens a portal or a doorway, and that always has to be monitored, no matter what. So you always have a technician in attendance. Even if you're in a location, wherever you may be, when that box is turned on, there's a technician assigned to that session that's going to oversee that session and make sure that, to the best of their ability, everything goes right. So when you do a session, a controlled session, you're going to have that technician who's going to facilitate the communication. So what happens is you could actually be going on an investigation. Say you're going on an investigation on a Saturday, right?
Right.
You can actually do a controlled box session, 5-minute session in your house like on a Wednesday, and give them a heads up. Give the technician a heads up. Say, listen, this is where I'm going to be on Saturday. This is what I'm looking for. This is the information I have. Will you be able to help me with that? And do a session based on that. You know, get your information about that, give them a heads up, and you'll see how much better you'll investigate, because they'll actually be able to reach out to whatever entity is in that location, if there is one, and probably help that entity to facilitate communication, or, you know, maybe help that entity to be in contact with you or understand what you're trying to do. You know? So, I mean, it's actually been, you know, I've had people tell me about instances where they actually do that, and it does help immensely in their investigations. Now, I'm running off at the mouth. You're not having a chance to talk. Lori, I haven't heard her for an hour.
Yeah, because I'm just letting you go.
Don't let me go, man. I told you, cut me off.
I thought Joe fell asleep.
No, I'm here.
Oh, thanks.
I'm actually making notes, believe it or not.
Is the information I'm giving out that dull and redundant?
You don't have to make notes, Joe, because he's going to post a podcast you can listen to over and over again.
Oh, boy. Thanks, Laura. I could always count on you for that ego boost, you know?
That's why I'm here.
Yes.
Make you feel better about yourself.
Yes, thank you very much.
See, I'm Bruce's online wife, apparently.
Yes, she's my e-wife. She's my e-wife. But I don't know now. You got Paratom running around. You got Paratom running around over there with all this junk hanging out. I don't know
he's jealous
how long I'm going to last.
Over here with me.
Bruce
is jealous that you're over here with the kilt.
Yes. You know, I actually own a kilt. Tell him I actually own a kilt.
Said he owns a kilt.
Yeah. When I was with the fire department, we had pulled burial duty a couple of times, and you had to wear a kilt. So I actually went out and bought one, but I bought a used kilt. How creepy is that, right? But I guess, you know, it's open.
Bruce
It's
got
open,
a used kilt.
Yeah, but it's open, so I guess there's nothing rubbing, or you know what I mean? Like it's
there's
not
nothing
like it's
rubbing.
not like buying a pair of used pants. You know what I mean? Well, you wouldn't know what I mean, but it's not like buying a pair of used pants where everything is like, you know, cupped and you know, rubbing and twisting, and I don't know. Joe,
yes,
get me off of this, Joe.
On that note,
hey, I have a question for you from the chat room.
Joe's monitoring the chat room. How good is that?
I'm sorry, I'm monitoring the kilt over here.
Go ahead, Joe. What is it?
The question is coming from my friend Stan Howard from the group Past of Kentucky.
Hi, Stan.
He wants to know, do you think someone can filter out just the radio stations but not the entity's voice on the ghost box?
No. Nope. Not at this point, anyway. Not at the point our technology is now. What happens is the radio stations, the radio signal, the radio broadcast is actually the fuel that fuels the fire. The fire is being the sweep. The radio signal, the stations are needed to produce the fragments of sound that the sweep breaks up. It breaks up the actual radio signal into smaller fragments that are then utilized by whatever entity is trying to communicate. They pull out what they need, the sounds that they need, and they sort of glue them together to produce the communication. So without that, there's no way to filter out the radio signal, because the radio signal is what's actually being used by the entity, in essence, to form the communication. So as far as the technology is now, we're not capable of doing that. Who knows? But in the future, I mean, that would be a primary goal, I would think. You know, the people that are, you know, everybody, all of us that are trying to work on the technology and move it forward, that's a primary goal for us, is to try and isolate just the communication. That would be like, you know, the quintessential form of ghost box communication, is to eliminate any other sound except the communication. That'd be like our major goal. That, and trying to build up the quantity and quality of the actual communication to where it's actually conversational, you know. But you know, we've made, in the last 2-3 years, I mean, we've gone from, from caveman, from the rock wheel all the way up to Firestone's best racing tire. I mean, that's we've
Right.
gone light years from where we were 2 or 3 years ago, and that thanks to the Radio Shack hacks and guys like Bill Chappell and Joe Siapi and guys that actually sit down and actually do the technology and actually get their hands into the technology and try to develop new things as far as the ghost boxes are concerned. If we get guys that continue to do that, then we'll I'm sure we'll be able to advance it to a point where someday we'll be able to have that type of communication. I hope that answered Stan's question.
Thank you.
Okay, so you know what I wanted to ask you, Joe?
Okay.
Over in Kentucky, there's a overabundance of paranormal societies, organizations, and investigators. Is there,
everywhere.
yeah, is there
is.
something in Kentucky that breeds paranormal investigators, or
They're here too. They're in Pennsylvania too.
Yeah, I mean it's. I mean in New Jersey, where I am, you can't find another. I can't find another paranormal investigator for
serious?
love of money. Yeah, down where I am.
I could throw out a net and catch about 50 of them.
Where you are, Laura?
In Pennsylvania,
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
about up here.
Yeah.
Paranormal groups.
Well, Salem, there must be a few.
There's like a
around
million
that
of
area,
them.
right?
Seems like.
Yeah, here in Kentucky, I was, matter of fact, I did a paranormal meet and greet last night when we were just talking, and there's 120 counties in Kentucky, and I could almost safely say that every county has at least one. Some counties have as many as 5 or 6 paranormal groups. It's unreal.
Now, how do you? I mean, do you find yourself bumping into each other? I mean, is there enough paranormal to go around?
No, there's not. As a matter of fact, I asked another group that question last night. There's not that many haunted places in Kentucky, so where are all of these groups going to investigate?
Right. Now, maybe there should be maybe you should just throw this out in the water there in Kentucky. Like maybe there should be a panel put together that governs all these paranormal societies.
I am actually have been thinking a lot about that today.
No.
Okay.
Because as soon as someone's in power, then they become evil.
Yeah, but no, it's got to be run like the mafia families. You have to have representatives.
Yeah, it has to be. This is the only way it will ever work.
Well,
If
you have to
I'm
have
in charge,
representatives from each county.
then it'll work.
You know what I mean?
If I'm in charge, no. You know what? If you put me and Julie in charge of governing all the paranormal groups in the U.S.,
right.
everything would be perfect.
Oh.
But if you put anybody else in charge, it's just gonna.
Okay.
No, actually, I have been thinking about, and the reason being, and this is kind of off the topic, but just yesterday there was an article, or 2 days ago rather, there was an article published online that a TAPS family group in West Hollywood had.
Sorry, did I say that out loud?
She's not a big fan of TAPS, Joe. But everybody has their opinion. Go ahead.
Anyway, they had a sex offender in the group, okay? That is the 4th time that I know of this year that a sex offender has been found lurking in paranormal groups. And I have been, for months, I've been trying to push to get some regulation of the paranormal field through state government here in Kentucky. I've not had any luck yet. And I know Shannon Sylvia, formerly of GHI, is trying to do the same thing in her home state. And but we're slowly gaining support. I know people that were against me 3 months ago are now with me on this.
Well, maybe there can be a national organization formed.
Well, after this happened yesterday, I emailed Jason Hollins with TAPS, and because Jason was irate when he found out about this sex offender being in a TAPS family group. And I emailed Jason, and he's on board as well. And he agrees that the field needs to be regulated to some degree, but nobody could find a way to do it.
Well, you know what it is?
Okay, here's a way to do it. Do it the way I do it with my group, right? Okay? Everyone that's in the group has to have a clean criminal background check.
Exactly.
It costs $10 in our state to get one.
Yeah, but now how do you, wait a minute, how do you control...
I have an FBI background check because of my job that I can show people.
Yeah, but you have to, what do you call it? You understand what has to happen here is that each organization has to join the main organization.
No, they don't. Anybody whose house I go into should ask to see these things. If they don't ask for that, I don't let people in my house unless they have some kind of license or ID or something.
Yeah, that goes without saying. You don't just let any Joe Schmo in your house. But suppose an organization...
I don't let just anybody in my group either. They have to have a clean background check or they don't get in my group. I don't have time for that crap.
Suppose you have... suppose there is, let's just say, a national organization formed to govern paranormal investigation in the United States. What is the purpose? If the purpose is to keep out sex offenders, this is an easy way to do it. They have to have a clean background check. That wouldn't be the sole purpose of the organization, I don't think. In my view,
if you're going to get into telling people how they run their investigations, then you're going to run into all kinds of problems.
I mean, like, see, Joe said in Kentucky there's about 10 in each county. I mean, like you said, they have to be stepping on each other's feet, running around in these limited locations.
Yeah, but you know what? I've been in this field long enough. I've seen so many people come and go. I know. I just keep doing what I'm doing, and in 5 years, even in 1 year, the idiots weed themselves out.
Yeah, that's actually.
And I'm still there, so you know, whatever.
Yeah, that's.
In next year, their website will be down.
Right, that's true.
They'll be gone.
Did you hear that Ghost Hunters has a new TV show coming out?
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, Ghost Hunters Academy, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
they're doing it at Fort Mifflin or something?
Well, no, they're running. It's going to be a regular show. They're running like I think. I just.
No, the first one is at Fort Mifflin.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, did they clear that through you or what?
No.
Because
why would they clear it through me? I don't run Fort Mifflin. Because you're like the general of Fort Mifflin. No, I'm not. I'm just a volunteer there, like a million other people.
I know that's your baby. Fort Mifflin.
Well, I care about the fort a lot, but, you know, I'm not the only volunteer there. There's many people that do more than I do.
But you're pretty much the most important.
To you, maybe.
Yes. Well, you're definitely the most important one to me. You know that.
And, Joe, you've never been to Fort Mifflin.
No, I haven't.
You got to come up.
And neither have I. Neither have I, for that matter.
Well, you guys have to come up to one of our events. There's one in June and there's one in July.
That, right?
Summer. Be nice and warm, full of mosquitoes for you.
You don't give a crap whether I'm there or not, right?
Because I asked you to come and you didn't.
Well, why didn't I go? Why didn't I?
I don't know.
Okay. We went over that.
We're talking about Joe right now. We're not talking about Bruce.
I understand. It's not Bruce's world. I know.
And Parrot Tom and Julie are coming.
Is that right? I'll only come if Parrot Tom wears his kilt.
He will wear the kilt. He always does.
Alrighty,
he wears it just for me because he knows I love it so much.
Then. Where's Pork, by the way?
Pork is in Chicago.
He's in Chicago. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to send him the podcast.
Okay.
And listen to all the kilt talk from you.
He knows about my kilt.
He has to say about that.
Pork knows all about this.
He's a good guy, Pork, and he's very secure, I'm sure, in his situation.
Why would he not be secure?
Yes.
He's perfect.
Yes, he is absolutely. You got that right. He is perfect. I'll agree with you there. Joe, I'm very sorry, Joe. This whole interview went
far
south.
afield.
Yeah, it went south.
It's okay.
Are you enjoying yourself, Joe?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
actually.
That's great. Let's play some of Joe's files. Let's play some of your files, Joe.
I'm gonna pull the You gonna play them right now?
Well, where you going? Well?
No, because I was gonna pull the headphone wire out so that they can hear them too.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna get them. I'll get them ready if you want.
Okay. Well, when you go to play them, I'm gonna let them hear them too.
Okay. Let's see. I have a little Joe Clark folder right on my desktop.
Well, I feel important.
Can you? Do you want to? If you want to set these up, I'll tell you what the title of the file is, and you can set it up. Do you remember what they were, Joe? Or?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Are you angry because we're here?
Why is this playing right off the bat? It's not supposed to do that.
You said you were going to warn me.
Yes, it's not supposed to do that. All right. Let's see. This one says, angry, yeah, sure. You want to set that up, Joe?
Sure. That came from the Coal Miners Museum in Van Leer, Kentucky. And I asked the question, are you angry because we are here? And the response was, yeah, sure.
Okay. Joe asked if they're angry because he's there, and the response was, yeah, sure. And you can hear that it's the 469 by that lovely clicking in the background. All right, let's play it. Yeah, sure.
Are you angry because we're here?
Yeah, that was clear. And it was like sort of, you see what I mean now about communication from an entity that's in proximity to the box? You could tell that was disassociated from the rest of the box sweep.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean, kind of? It sounded like it was in back of the box sweep itself.
Right.
You know? So, that was a good one. Joe. The next one is I'm Sitting.
Okay, that one came from Mullen's Log Cabin in Berry, Kentucky. And Tommy Jones of Para X was with me that night.
Right.
And Tom, and one of the spirits we've been communicating with there at the cabin, his name was Derek. And Tommy asked him, says, Derek, are you in here? And the response is, I'm sitting.
Okay. All right, let's listen to it. It says, I'm sitting.
Derek, are you in here?
Wow, that was a good one. That was really good.
A little slow responding, but yeah, it was there.
That was really good. Did you hear that one, Laura?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that was good, right? Nice and clear.
Did you hear that, Julie?
I'd like to play
Yeah, Julie heard it too.
Okay, great. Did Tom hear it?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. What I want to do is I want to play that one more time because I'm pretty sure that there was an accent involved in that response. Okay. And I'd like to hear, again, if I can figure out what type of accent it was.
Derek, are you in here?
I can't pick out any particular accent, but I could tell you what. To me, it sounds like an older person. I don't know if it sounds the same to anybody else, but to me, it sounds like an older person. The next one is Just Me.
Yeah, we were again at the Coal Miners Museum in Van Leer, Kentucky, and I asked, can you tell me your name? And the response was just me.
Yeah, you know what? I get that a lot. You know, like I say that. You know, I'll always ask, like if I get a solid communication that I hear in real time, hear it live. I say, you know, can you tell me? I always ask, can you tell me who's speaking? Can you tell me your name? And I get that response a lot. It's me, or just me, or me. You know, and right. It annoys me when I get that response. You know, and I say, you know, you'll hear, like I could play files for you all day long and say, what do you mean me? Who's me? You know, and because that's a stupid answer. That really is a stupid answer. I mean, you know, how do you expect me to know? If I'm asking you what your name is, why would you say it's me or just me? Just, you know, I don't know.
I say that all the time.
Yeah, the people that know you. You wouldn't go up to a stranger and the stranger said, you know, introduces themselves and they say, hi, I'm so-and-so and your name is? That's just me. You know.
I might. You never know.
Yeah, you might is right.
Are you going to play the file?
Yes, right now. Just me, it says.
Can you tell me your name?
Just me. I heard that. It was a little low, but it was a little low. Did you guys hear it?
Oh, was that for us? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you're in rare form tonight, Well.
Excuse me.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean by us being like husband and wife? We act just like that.
I'm just trying to keep the show moving.
Yes, I know.
So now she's saying we are boring.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. She needs to keep the show moving. Okay, hold on a minute. Steve Hill is sending me a file. So I guess he wants me to play the file on air, which I will accommodate for my man Steve. But let's keep going with Joe's files. It says kids hear me. Not here as in here, but here, like right here.
Right. Again, we were back at Mullen's log cabin, and Tommy asked, I don't know, for some strange reason, he just asked, are there any kids here? And we get the response, me.
Oh, I see. That's what the file doesn't say kids hear me. It just says me.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tommy asks kids here, and the answer is me, correct?
Right, yeah.
Okay, here it goes.
Are there kids here?
And that was in the kid's voice.
Oh, wow. That was good.
Yeah, you want to hear that again, Laura?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, no, I'm not playing it again, no. Okay, here it goes.
Are there kids here?
Yeah, that was definitely in the kid's voice. That does a good one. I like that one. This one actually says kid's voice.
Kid's voice?
Yeah.
Let me find my notes here.
I believe when I listened to this one, I couldn't make out it saying anything, but you could tell it was a child trying to communicate. Is that
this one came from a private residence, and I asked the question, do you like us, or something to that effect, and a kid's voice says not bad, or that's what it sounded like to me.
Okay. Well, let's listen to it and see what Lori hears.
Do you like us?
That sounded like a cartoon voice. Didn't it?
Well, I'm going to play it again. I'll play it a couple more times because I think I know what I heard. But I want to see if you come close to it more.
Do you like us? Do you like us?
Can you make out anything more?
It sounds like a cartoon.
Yeah, but not the tone of the voice. Can you make out what they're saying?
Play it again.
Do you like us?
I heard it. It sounded like not that.
Right. That's what I'm hearing.
Not that?
That's exactly what I'm hearing. Not that. Or stop that. Could be. Stop that. Let's listen.
No, I heard it's not. I heard something like not that.
Yeah,
I'm
pretty sure
that.
I'm hearing not that also. Let me play one more time.
Do you like us?
Yeah, not that. That's what I'm hearing. That was pretty good, Los. So that's on the money. You get it two, both validating that we hear the same thing. So that's probably what it says when you get two people that hear the same thing. Leg no.
Oh, this was kind of funny. Well, we were back at the Coal Miners Museum, and I had just gotten touched on the leg by an entity. And I'm a big jokester at times, so I asked jokingly, I asked the question, I said, did you like playing with my leg? And this male's voice, or sounded to be a male's voice, said no.
Okay, let's listen to that.
Do you like playing with my leg?
No. Yeah. No.
That was funny.
Joe, you mind if I give you one little piece of advice? And I know this is sometimes difficult to do, but when you're doing a box session, if you stay aware of this, it'll be a lot better in the long run for your recorded files. Try to keep the box and yourself in sort of an equal proximity to the recorder. Okay. So that your voice doesn't come through like 10 times louder than the actual communication. You want to keep it kind of even, so that see what happens is if the communication is louder than your voice, people will tend to not listen to what you're saying and it doesn't validate the communication, or if your voice is that much louder than the words of communication, they'll pay attention more to what you're saying and miss what was said in the communication. So, you want, because I can hear you have the box much further away from the recorder than your voice is. You're probably holding the recorder, right?
I think I had the recorder sitting directly in front of me.
Right.
And the box was actually in the middle of the table.
Yeah. See that? You can tell that. Yeah.
And I actually have had the box at times. A couple of times I've actually had the box too close to the recorder, and you couldn't understand anything.
Oh yeah, if you have it right on top. I usually like to keep it like maybe 8 to 10 inches away from the box. But see, like I said, I do controlled sessions. So if you're out in the field, you don't know what other conditions are come into play. Like you could be in a situation where there's wind, or you have to put the recorder closer or further away from the box. Depends on your situation in the field, I guess. It was just a thought that I like to I like to mention when I hear a file where it's your voice is so much louder than the box sound.
Right, I appreciate that.
This one says names.
This one is another one that's kind of funny. Again, we were back at the Mullins Log Cabin, and Tommy Jones of Parax, he asked, can you say anyone's name that's here? And all of a sudden, he just starts rattling off names. It says the name Bobby, and there was 2 investigators there named Bobby that night. Then it says Joe, which of course is my name. And then the name K. Isaac, which we had been communicating with a spirit named Sarah. And it might be on this clip, I can't remember. If not, it was in another one. Tommy asked Sarah, so what's your last name? And it said K. Isaac. And I can't remember if that's on this clip or not. But yeah, it says several names right in a row here.
Okay, let's listen to it.
Can you say someone's name in this room? Bobby.
Sarah, what's your last name?
Isaac. Yeah, Isaac there?
Okay. Yeah, I heard all the names you mentioned.
Yeah.
But
you heard a lot of us talking in there too. But
once again, could I give you one more little piece of advice?
You sure can.
Okay. During any box session, even on an investigation, there has to be one person that takes control of the box session, that runs the session, and that should be the only person that out loud acknowledges what they hear. That stops any, like, see now when you're recording, if people are further away from the box, from the recorder, and their voice kind of blends in with the box sweep,
right,
or the box communication, it's a little hard to distinguish their voices from, because you're not paying attention. You're paying attention to the box session as you're doing it. You're not paying attention actually to what everyone around you is actually saying. I mean, you hear it, but you're not in tune to it because you're paying attention to the box. So now when you listen back to it in the recording, if their voice is in the same basic level as the box sweep, you're gonna tend to say, well, did that come from the box, or was that, did somebody say that? So that's why I like to, just one person runs the session, and afterwards, if people want to discuss it and you go back over the recording and they could say, yes, I heard that in real time the way you did, or whatever. But if you're gonna acknowledge, which you should, the person running the session should always acknowledge verbally anything they hear in real time. So, but it should only be, if there's a group involved, it should only be the person that's facilitating the session that does that. And that'll help to keep your session clean.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And I actually had that happen to me on this same investigation here, I think. I was going back and I was listening to the files, and there was one that I couldn't distinguish if it was the box or if it was an investigator, so I had to throw it out.
Yeah, that's what happens. I mean, you can't you can't count on it not happening. So, from now on, if you're running the session, you run the session, and just ask, ask nicely, like even if you got people that are not part of your group, Maybe, if you're doing a big investigation or whatever, you have people from another group or people that you don't know that attach themselves to your group, as you're going through the location. Just, I like to ask nicely, say, I'd appreciate it if you please just stay quiet until the end of the session, and we can discuss what we heard, but anything that comes through the box, I'll acknowledge that I heard it in real time, and then we can discuss it afterwards. And that usually helps,
Right. Good idea.
Let's see. This one says sad.
Okay, we were Coal Miners Museum, and I asked, this is a question I always ask on every investigation. I said, are you happy, sad, or angry? And the response was sad.
Okay.
Are you happy, sad, or angry? Sad. You hear that? That's a little kid, too.
Yeah, that was quick. But I heard it. Okay, let's see. I'm typing and looking at the same time. Wow, I'm getting really multifunctional since I started doing this radio show. Throwing doll could be.
Yeah, this is kind of an interesting as well. We were at Mullen's cabin again.
Right.
And the client had she had a doll there in the cabin that kept getting thrown by an entity.
Right.
And so we asked the question, are you the one, I think Tommy was the one that asked the question, are you the one that is throwing the doll?
Right.
And immediately we get what sounds to be like a kid or a female saying, could be, and immediately followed that is what sounds to be a male saying could be as well.
Okay, so you got two of the same phrases back to back.
Yes, we did, and one sounds to be a female or a child.
Right.
And the other one sounds to be a male.
Yeah, that when you get two of the same phrases or two of the same words back to back in different voices, that's superior validation. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that file should be singled out. Like, what I like to do is I keep a file folder on my computer just for files that are superior validation files, and that would be one that would qualify. So if I ever need files that are superior to prove a point or to submit to a skeptic or whatever the case may be, I'll always be able to go to that folder.
Right.
Okay. This one, you have two entities back to back saying could be male and female voices.
Are you the one throwing the doll on the floor?
Yeah, that was good. That you could hear the child, and you could also hear another child. Like you could hear a child in the background. You can't make out what they're saying, but you can hear them speaking in the background.
Right.
That's still where was this taken?
That came from Mullen's Log Cabin, Country Retreat.
Now, what is that? A hotel or?
No, it's an 1850s log cabin.
Right.
It's just today it's just like it was when it was built in the 1850s. There's no electricity in it, no running water,
right.
No modern conveniences, and she actually rents it out to people for like an overnight retreat or that kind of thing.
Oh, okay. This one says upstairs.
Okay, again, we were at Mullen's cabin, and Tommy asked, are you upstairs or downstairs? And the response was upstairs.
Okay, it says upstairs.
Are you upstairs or downstairs?
To be honest, Joe, I really didn't hear that one. But I think it's because it was really low.
Yeah, it is. It's very low.
And what happens is
right near the end of it.
Yeah, when you play files over the air, like I'm listening to it directly from my desktop, but when I play them over the air, it goes through from my computer, through the broadcast server, and through the speakers or the headphones of the person that's listening on the other end that's listening to the show. So it actually gets degraded like 3 times before they hear it. Right. So if I'm hearing it low, they're hearing it like almost non-existent. Laura, were you able to hear that?
No, I didn't hear it.
Okay. All right, well, we'll just go on to the next one.
Okay.
This one says, we won't tell.
Okay, yeah, after he asked if they were upstairs or downstairs, it said upstairs. And then Tommy asked, where upstairs? And the response is, we won't tell them.
Okay, here we go.
Where are you at downstairs?
Yeah.
It's right at the end there.
Yeah, I heard it was actually a very low male voice. Like
yes,
a
it was.
Bassy male voice. This one says, yes, sir, no.
Okay, it's kind of an interesting one because I got two different responses there. We were in a private residence, and I said, is there anyone in this room? And I get a yes, sir, and then I get a no.
Yeah, you get that a lot, too. Contradictory answers.
Right.
Okay, it says yes, sir, and then it says no.
Is there anyone in this room with me tonight? No.
Now, if you listen to it, I heard it the way you did. The
Right.
yes, sir was really clear. But if you listen to the end of the file, it actually says me at the end.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
I'll play it again for you.
Is there anyone in this room with me tonight? No.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, I caught it that time.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I had caught that.
Yeah, that's another one. That's another me. Like, who the hell is me? Okay, this one says you're done. This is the last file.
Okay, this came from the Coal Miners Museum.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we even asked a question on this one, and then this just came through. It said, you're done.
Okay.
You're done?
Yeah, you're done.
Did it say you're done or you're dumb?
And now, I was just going to say that, Laura. That's why I said let me play it
No,
again.
I thought it said you're dumb.
Yes, me too. I was just going to say that. That's why I said I'm going to play it again. Because I heard you're dumb. So let me play it again, see if we hear it. Now I'm hearing something different.
So I play it again.
Let me play it again. Wait a couple of seconds because they might be manipulating it now. You know what I mean? So let's wait a couple of seconds. That is possible. I mean, entities are capable of manipulating the sound files that when they're already on the computer. Okay, let's see. You're done. I'm hearing you're dumb. Now I'm hearing something else.
I heard something else, right?
I'm going to play it. Hold on.
It said you're ducking. I said you're ducking.
Yeah. Now at the end, right? You know what I'm hearing? Like now, I'm just going to throw this out there. I'm hearing cancer at the end.
What?
I hear you're ducking, then I hear cancer.
You heard you're ducking, though, right?
Yeah.
You're ducking.
Yes.
First I heard you're dumb.
You're ducking.
You're ducking.
Cancer. Listen, tell me if you hear the cancer at the end.
All right.
Yeah, I heard that.
Or could it be you're ducking answer?
No, I don't know about the last thing, but you're ducking is...
Okay. All right, but you see how interpretational, how some of us hear it one way, some of us hear it another way? Then you can listen to it. You can listen to it now and swear you hear this now, and then go back an hour from now, listen to it, and you'll hear something completely different an hour from now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's, sometimes you get files like that and not cut and dry like that. I mean, they're very interpretational. Joe, very good batch of files. Outstanding. You got to keep up the good work. Let me play this file of Steve Hill from Piedmont Paranormal. Send me over this file real quick. And it says, Shannon at the Devil's Tramping Ground. Stay. Now, I'm not sure what the... it was taken with a 469. He says, me and Shannon Sylvia on her 469 from the Devil's Tramping Ground. So, let's listen to that now.
You want us to stay? Tell us to stay.
See, that's right back to back. It's fired out as soon as she says stay. Tell us to stay. Stay. That's fired right out, and it's loud and clear. So I'm gonna play one more time for you.
You want us to stay? Tell us to stay.
Yeah, very good files, Steve. Outstanding. Laura, you have any files?
Yeah, but I didn't get to send them over to you.
Okay, if you want to shoot me a couple now, or it's up to you. I mean, we got time. Joe, how you doing? You gonna hang in there with us, or do you have to go?
I'm fine.
Okay, great. How you feeling? You feeling okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Because I know you had, you've been fighting about it, a flu, so.
Yeah, me too, but no one's asking me if I'm okay.
I didn't
hear my voice?
I didn't know you were sick, Laura. I'm very sorry. How are you feeling? Are you okay?
Well, today's the first day I didn't feel like I was dying, but I'm losing my voice.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. You don't sound like you're losing your voice. You sound fine to me.
Yeah, Julie said you don't sound sorry.
Is that right? Now, see, Julie, you're trying to get me in trouble, right? I'm very sorry. I know I'm sorry. All right, let's see. Laura, you going to send me some files or no?
I'm looking for them. I'm getting them right now.
In the interim, I'm going to play. I did an investigation, like I said earlier, at a cemetery from. It was for soldiers that were killed in the War of 1812. It's the oldest cemetery in Ocean County, New Jersey, and it's actually based right next to. It was actually a supply depot, and that was attacked, and all the members of the military that based at this supply depot was actually on a river where boats used to pull in, supply boats would pull in, were killed. So, and they just subsequently buried them right there on the spot. And it became a cemetery for them and their families. There's about, I would say, maybe 300 graves at this cemetery, and it's a really old, creepy, like Munsters type of cemetery. Like you would see, the gravestones are like all knocked down. Most of them are knocked down, and they're weather beaten and worn away, and half of the names you can't read. And it's just like it's like one of those old, creepy, unkept cemeteries. Let's see. Lori's, you hear that? That's Skype. Lori's sending me files, so if you hear that, that's what that is.
All right.
I don't even know where I am here.
That's Skype.
Okay. And I have like 85 windows open at one time. See as. Okay. You sent me 3, right, Law?
Yeah, there's another one I'm trying to look for.
Okay. Let me see. I just want to close down the windows that are not active before this starts getting retarded, this computer.
It starts getting what?
Retarded.
Did you say retarded?
Yeah, retarded.
It's so politically incorrect.
Well, you know me. Far be it from me to be PC. This the last one you sent to me?
Yes.
Okay.
There's only 4.
Alright.
God.
Okay. Alright, you know what? Let's play your 4, and then we'll play some of mine. You don't know which are which, right?
Play 10 first.
Okay, 10. You want to set it up?
These are from the Constellation. We did a session up on the spar deck, which is the top deck, out in the open air.
All right.
And I asked who are we talking to, and then you want me to say what the response was that I heard, right?
Well, I mean, if you want to, is the file good enough to stand on its own, or does it need any
setup? Of course I think it's good enough to stand on its own.
Okay.
I wouldn't have clipped it.
All right, so we'll play it now, and we'll see who hears what. Okay, we'll play it again. Okay, I know what it says. What? Joe,
I thought it said this is Tom.
Yes, it did.
I couldn't make out anything.
It absolutely said this is Tom.
Now what's funny is because the box and the recorder were on a platform, and we were up above it. It was windy up where we were, but that area was protected, so you can hardly hear my voice.
Now, what'd you use? Which box did you use for that?
The 125.
Okay. Joe, I'm going to play it again for you. Listen towards the middle of the file. You're going to, in the beginning, it's a little rough because, Laura, you're outside, right? And it's very windy.
Yeah, I was outside, and where we had the box and the recorder was protected from the wind, but our faces were in the wind, so our voices are really far.
Yeah, you're not only that, your voice is like, it sounds like it's part of the box sweep, actually.
Yeah.
But you actually say, can you tell me your name, correct?
I say something other, who are we talking to?
Okay. All right, Joe, I'm going to play one more time for you. It says, this is Tom. You can listen for that. Did you hear it?
No, I still can't hear it on my end. I really can't.
We'll go on to the next one. You don't feel bad. You don't have to hear it.
Don't feel bad.
This is number 11.
What?
Number 11. Do you have any setup for it?
I'm sorry. Okay, this was funny. I asked, did you work on the ship? And the response was, I worked on the radio.
Oh, okay.
Did you work on the ship?
Wow, that was good.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that was great. Let me play that again. Wow. What's the matter? Did you find that funny? Lori?
Tom wants to hear it again.
Yeah, all right. I'm playing it again. Hold on. That was a great file.
Did you work on the ship?
Wow. Excellent, Laura. Excellent. That 125,
it's the 125.
Boy, that's my baby.
I know.
That and the Jensen, two best boxes out there. Okay, let's see. This one, number 12.
The next one is kind of funny. I always ask if they can see us.
Right.
So I said, do you see us? And the response was, don't you know that?
Okay. It doesn't say, don't you know that. It says, I thought you knew that.
Okay.
Or I thought you know
that. I
that.
thought it says, don't you know that.
I'm going to play it again. Listen for it. I thought you know that. Yeah.
I still think it says, don't you know that.
Very nice file.
Thank you.
What was that, number 12 I played?
Yep.
Okay, here comes number 14.
Number 14, I was just explaining to them that the radio would make it easier for us to hear them, because right before that they were asking, like, what is that? What's going on?
Right.
And then this one I said, the radio will make it easier for us to hear you. And they say, what's going on here?
Okay. What's going on here? Hold on.
Yeah.
Did not hear that one.
Yeah, I don't hear it now. I heard it at the time.
It's kind of rough. I mean, there's a lot going on, I guess, weather-wise.
It was windy, too.
Yes.
So
that
wasn't
wind is
easy.
a killer. The wind is a killer. But all in all, good batch of files. Very nice.
Well, I have more, but those are ones I, had handy in there.
Okay.
I just got them recently, so.
All right, let me play a few of mine. From
play some of yours,
and then we're done with the files. Like I was saying, say it again, Joe.
I actually have another one I can send you. I just now found it. I tried to find it earlier today and I couldn't.
Send it
over.
It's
a really good one.
Send it over.
Okay.
All right, let me just play a couple of these till I get it. When I went in and I started the investigation, I put I decided to do the box session. I used the 125, of course, and I brought it in, and the only reason I used it is because I wanted a box with an internal speaker, because I didn't want to be juggling a speaker, a box, and a recorder at the same time. So I wanted something that I could actually put on top of a headstone or something like that, and I would have it stand on its own. So I used the 125. And I placed it on top of a headstone, and I placed the recorder next to it, and I started to, ask the basic questions when I first start the session. And I got the name James, and I said, I heard, did you say James? And I got yes. Okay, so this one says James, yes.
Are there any spirits here that wish to communicate? Did you say James? Is that what you said? Yeah.
Heard that.
Okay. How'd that sound, Laura?
I heard the yes.
You didn't hear the James?
Well, I don't know if I heard James. I definitely heard the yes.
I heard the yes.
Let me play it again for you.
Are there any spirits here that wish to communicate? Did you say James? Is that what you said? Yeah.
Still didn't hear it?
I don't know if I'm hearing James.
Okay.
There's something there, but I can't say it's James.
All right, let's go to the next one. Maybe it was me. But I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why in a minute. This one says yes here.
Okay, James. Are you in this cemetery? Are you here with me now? Yes.
I heard that.
Okay. Now,
yes, I heard that.
When I
yes, I'm here.
Yeah, I decided to move around, so I took the box off the headstone, and I walked around the headstone, and on the headstone the name was James Morris. So that's why I'm saying it pretty much. I pretty much figured, okay, yeah, it is James, But and this one here, I actually sent this to Jimmy here on Para X. His name is James Morris, and I mentioned that to you, right, Law? When we were on the phone the other day. And
yep.
Yeah, this is the one. This is the file that says James Morris. Now this is quick too. You got to listen to this.
James, can you tell me what year you died? I heard you say James again.
Did you hear that one?
No, I didn't.
Was it supposed to be saying a year?
No, see, I asked for the year and it just says James Morris. I asked for the year that he died and it just says James Morris.
James, can you tell me what year you died? I heard you say James again.
Did you catch that? Yes or no?
Well, I didn't hear James Morris.
Okay.
I heard the James, but that was it.
Okay. See, these are all outside too, which really I'm not used to because, like I said, I do a lot of controlled sessions. This one says, and this one is kind of light too. It says, missed the name Bruce. So I'm assuming they meant I missed the name on the headstone.
James, can you please tell me what year you died?
Yeah, see, that one's rough. I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't hear that one.
No, I didn't hear that one.
I didn't hear it either.
I'm batting 1,000 here tonight, huh? That's what happens, see, when you go out on location. What happened to me? Hold on.
Wow.
That was your file. No, that was Joe's file. Joe, this one says, I need your assistance.
Yeah, this was a very, very good one. We were at the vacant house, and we got this using the 469, and this is probably the longest one I've ever gotten. It says, quote, I need your assistance.
Okay, go. I need your assistance. Huh? But you know what? That's
what?
That's a weird sounding box file.
Yeah.
You want to hear it again, Law?
Yeah, because I think I missed the whole thing.
Did you catch it?
You know what? I don't know.
Okay. It sounds like it was kind of displaced from.
It sounds like a person in the room talking.
Yeah, or it's not. It didn't sound like it was.
I don't think that's
a
box communication. If anything, that's an EVP.
EVP, right? I was going to say that myself.
Could have been. Because we talked about it after and there was only myself and one other investigator there, so I know it was neither one of us.
Right.
We discussed it after we found that, and actually we neither of us recall hearing it that night.
Yeah, it could definitely
so it's possible it could be an EVP.
Yeah, I mean that happens. That happens quite often. I mean it happens to me all the time. Let's see. Laura, what are you whispering back there, Laura?
Because there's a ghost down here, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm freezing. Now she's gonna try to take a flash picture right in my face.
George is sitting right next to you. He's listening to the files. Okay, this one says not now.
James, can you please tell me what year you died?
Now.
Now. What does now mean, Lisa?
See, I didn't hear the not. All I heard was the now. But when I was listening...
I heard not now.
Yeah, when I was doing the session, I didn't hear not. All I heard was the now, and I said, what do you mean by now? And I heard it in what I perceived to be Lisa's voice, so I said, what do you mean not now, Lisa? Now, the name on the headstone, the name I got was James Morris. Later on, this is the next file in sequence, it says Evelyn Morris. Now, I didn't look for that name because I didn't hear this in real time. I heard Evelyn, but I didn't hear the Morris in real time.
It's like a big giant orb thing on the wall now because of that.
Done?
What? No, I'm sorry. I'm going to put it on mute then because there's something going on right here.
I thought you were talking about us.
I just told you there's some stuff going on right now. So I'm going to put you on mute.
All right. All right, this one says Evelyn Morris. This one's also quick.
Tom, or any other spirits that are communicating, can you tell me how many spirits are here in this cemetery with me now? Okay, I heard you say Evelyn.
That's kind of rough.
Yeah, I heard the Evelyn, but I didn't. That was it.
This one, you're gonna like this one, Joe.
Okay.
And any kids out there, plug your ears up. This is the curse file. These are very good validation files. Joe and I discussed this earlier that when you get a vulgar file or a curse file, it's usually a negative response or a negative message, but it's actually a good validation file because you're not going to hear the F word come across public broadcast radio. And that's what we receive with a box that's broken up to form the communications, public broadcast radio. So when you do receive words or vulgar words or curse words, profanity, that's a very good validation that you are in fact getting communication of some sort. This one says yes, and then it says fuck you. So here we go, and it's actually really clear.
I heard that over the air. What was that?
Now, this one is really clear. So here we go.
Tom, are you there, buddy? Yes. Okay, Tom, can you please help James or any of the spirits that are here? Can you help them use the box to communicate? I heard you say "fuck you." Now, if that's a disgruntled spirit,
Watch
please
the
don't use that language.
Yes.
I'm not going to listen to that communication.
How clear was that? And if you hear my response afterwards, that's the basic, that's like the generic response. If you get any profanity or vulgarity coming through the box, that's the response I use. Like, I'm not going to listen to any communication like that, so you might as well stop right now. So,
right.
You guys want to hear that again, or was that enough?
I'm trying to catch the mirror. Did you do it?
Doesn't matter.
Lori?
Take it over.
Laura? All right, I guess we'll go on to the next one.
Sorry, something's going on here.
Okay.
We're trying to catch it and figure it out. Okay?
Do what you're doing. Don't worry about it. I got control of this. Just do what you're doing.
Okay. Thank you.
This one is kind of rough also, but what I'm hearing is now both dead.
James, if this is you, can you confirm for me the day that you died?
Were you able to hear that one, Joe?
I heard yeah, but that was about it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, these are not the best quality files, but I like to play, you know, like I want to play all types of files. I don't take just my best stuff and play it. You know, I play files every week. I don't want to play just I want to play a variety of what comes through the box, because when you do a session right now, I'm only like 3.5 minutes into like a 12-minute session as far as the review goes. And I have like 9-10 files already from the first 3.5 minutes of the session. And what happens is you're going to get maybe, if I get 25, 30 files total in this whole session, I would say I'm going to average about maybe 20-25% real-time, hearing in real-time, hearing live communication in the session. And I'm going to average maybe about decent files that you're going to be able to hear without a problem, that are going to be loud and clear. My communication is going to be about, I'd say maybe 10-15% of the total files. The rest are going to be heard not as I hear them, or not heard at all, or going to be rougher than normal. You know, you're going to have to strain to hear them, or you're going to have to listen to them a couple of times, and that's usually what you're getting. You know, that's the bulk of a live communication ghost box session. They're not always going to be those nice, loud, clear messages or responses or files. You know, so this is I like to play a variety of whatever I get. This one, I believe I ask again what day he died, and I get it Sunday, and then quickly after that I get in a little, Sunday is really clear, and then in a little, right after that, a little bit less clarity, I get he killed us. This one says Sunday he killed us.
James, can you confirm for me the day that you died?
Yeah, that was really rough. I didn't even hear that one now.
I didn't hear it either.
Okay. Next. This is the last one as far as this goes. This batch goes. This one says, yes, I could. Let me see if I can remember what I was saying. I think I still asked the question, can you tell me when you died? And I believe I got yes, I could. And then I made a reference to or can you tell me your name or whatever, or your last name, and I would get the response rubbed away. And that basically, on most of the headstones that were in this cemetery, they were weather worn, and the names were rubbed out, like as far from being weather beaten. And I said yes, you know, I acknowledge it. I heard it in real time, and I said yes, the names are rubbed away, and I get the response yes. So this one says yes, I could, then rubbed away, then yes.
Okay, James, your last name, I'm sorry, is worn out on your headstone. Can you please tell me what your last name was? I know it starts with a C. I heard you say yes. Can you tell me your last name? Rubbed away. Yes, it's rubbed away.
That was a pretty good one, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, that does it for mine. Now you sent me one more. You sent me your vulgarity.
Yes, I did. This is my vulgarity.
Okay.
Same response you had there.
All right. This one says, F you.
Why are you here?
You actually said it twice. It twice.
That was my very first response with the ghost box.
Okay, and I'm sure you said, wow, I can't wait to get more responses like that. That was a really good file, Joe.
Yeah.
Laura, you still with us?
I'm still here.
Okay, what's going on? Any updates?
Talking about something over here that's going on right now.
You want to let us in on it, or?
It's not really like a big thing. It's we got a weird picture, and we can't figure out how it happened. So.
Okay, can you send it to me so I could see it?
It was like ice cold.
Right.
And then I was ice cold. Tom got up to turn off some of the lights, and while he was doing that, we were taking photos and in the one area where we felt like it was coming from, and I got a really weird picture.
Right.
And I can't figure it. I can't make it get the same picture again.
What picture is it? What does it look like?
It looks like this giant ball of light.
Okay.
It just is huge, and I've taken like 30 pictures.
Right.
Yeah, coming out from under his kilt.
Again with this kilt? You're fixated with this kilt. Jesus Christ. So go ahead. What happened with this picture? You got a ball of light coming where?
From under the kilt.
Oh, gosh.
That's not a ball of light. It's passing gas.
I knew he was going to say that.
And I was very PC when I said that.
No, actually, it was on the wall. Well, I don't know. It's between a pillar and the wall. Now, the pillar has mirrors on it, so we were trying to figure out how to get the right angle to make it happen again, and taking I don't know how many pictures, probably 30 more, and it's not happening again.
Cool.
But it's not cold anymore either.
Yeah, we'll see whatever it was is passed through.
That's what I think. So that's what we're talking about.
Joe, now the guy, I'm sorry, Loda, your friend in the chat room, is that the guy that's listed as past?
Yeah, actually, I have two friends, and they both have a paranormal groups here in Kentucky. They're both in the chat room.
Okay.
We have Blade from the group Siders in Kentucky.
Right.
And we have Stan Howard with the group Past of Kentucky.
Okay, so that's Stan, the guy with the blonde icon?
Yes.
Okay. It's a good question he just brought up. It says, I'm wondering if someone could make a TV scan like the Ghost Box during an ITC session with a camcorder pointing at the TV. Now, that's a good question. Stan, I did extensive research with ITC feedback loop imaging. I'm sorry, I couldn't grab that word. Feedback loop imaging is what you're talking about. And I actually did very well. I actually got some very good images and some very good data using feedback loops. The only bad thing with that is it actually is sort of like a ghost box. I mean, the reason I say that is because when you do a feedback loop on a television with ITC, it entails having a television or a monitor turned on to the video in channel and or video in setting on the television. And what you do is you put the video in feed to a camcorder and point the camcorder at the television screen, so it's actually videotaping itself, and that's why it's called a feedback loop, because it's infinite. It just continues to video itself to infinity. So what happens is it creates like a sort of a blinking or moving image on the TV screen as you're doing this. And what the theory is that an entity can use this energy image in fluctuation to form an image using that energy and that visual that's on the screen. So because it's continually turning itself every tenth of a second or whatever it is. I don't remember the exact time frame, but the camera continues to loop itself like every tenth of a second. So in essence, it is sort of like a box sweep. It's continually looping itself around and around and around and around and around. So feedback loop to do a feedback loop video session with ITC is actually akin to a box session visually. But I know what you mean. Would it be possible to get a regular TV screen I would think that you're trying to allude to, would it be able to get regular TV stations like 100 cable channels to sweep? If you could sweep 100 channels of regular television broadcast the way you do with a ghost box, as with video as opposed to audio, and try to get images through that sweep. Or you could actually even get audio and video if that was possible. I don't know. That's a very good question, and if somebody is out there listening that has the knowledge and the technology to look into that and has the disposition to think about that, I'd be very interested in hearing any thoughts on that. That was a very good question, Stan. Thank you. Joe.
Yes.
We got 6 minutes to go, buddy. You made it the whole 2 hours without coughing once. You didn't cough once.
Oh, great.
Laura.
Yeah?
I'm so happy that you were able to get on tonight.
So am I.
Yes, I was very worried that I was going to have to spend another week without you.
Well, when I saw that little Skype thing going around and it wasn't connecting, I was worried too.
Oh, you miss me, right? I know you miss me, right?
Huh?
You miss me, right?
Of course, always.
Of course. Well, we managed
to... Oh my God.
What happened?
Some really weird stuff's going on down here.
See? Well, that's
I
good.
don't know what is going on.
That's what you're there for.
These are like the weirdest pictures I've seen in a while.
What does that one look like? Tell me.
All of a sudden it's cold again, and we started taking pictures, and Julie got this white streak of something going across the door.
Now, somebody sent me a picture during the week, and they said, we'd appreciate it if you could analyze this picture for us. And the picture had an individual in the middle of the picture with glasses on, and around this person, the left side of this person's face, was a white-orange mist, and then it trailed off into like strings of light, long strings, that actually went out of the frame of the picture.
What was that? Oh my God. Please tell me it's somebody over there.
We're waiting.
Are you sure there's somebody?
I want to hear what's going on.
Oh my God, that was scary.
You're telling me a seasoned pro like you is getting scared? Come on.
Well, because I have my laptop here, and I'm going to have to grab the... Oh my gosh. It's right behind you, Julie. Oh God.
We'll find out. Ask him to knock or something like that.
We did. We were asking them to do stuff.
I don't hear you. Let's everybody hear you. Would you please knock?
Because I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm trying to clear my throat so I have a voice.
I'm sorry.
Is there somebody over there in the office? I'm stuck here with the laptop, so I can't get up and walk around.
Tell him, knock 3 times on the ceiling.
There's someone in there? What about... there?
Ladies and gentlemen out there in the listening world, we're coming to you live now from where, Law?
The historic haunted Hawthorne Hotel in Salem, Massachusetts.
The historic haunted Hawthorne Hotel in Salem, Massachusetts.
Yes, and I'm here with Tom Lynch of Paratom.com and Julie.
And Tom has his kilt on. And
Julie what?
There's all kinds of activity under Tom's kilt. It's going on live as we speak.
Yes, everything that's going on under Tom's kilt was being told to you live.
Now, do you hear any? Is there any more sound noises going on? Or?
Well, there was. It's right over your head, Julie. Every time he walks away from you, I take a picture and there's something around you.
Well, ask Julie to move and see if it follows her.
It did. It was following her, and then when he came over, it stopped, and now he came back here, and I took another picture of her, and it was right over her head again.
Does she feel anything?
Do you feel anything, Julie? She doesn't feel anything. Does she normally feel stuff?
Does somebody have an EMF detector or a
No, all my bag is up in the room because I ran downstairs with a laptop to do the show.
Because I would love to see if there was like a major spike around her right now. Is she cold? Is it cold around her?
Are you cold, Julie? She's not answering me.
Maybe she's possessed.
She said it feels cooler.
Are you warm, Laura?
It was really weird every time. Excuse me. Every time he walks away, let me try it again. There'll be like the ball of light that I got earlier. Every time he would walk away, once it was right behind her, and then next time it was right over her head.
What do you mean? Every time Tom would walk away?
Yeah, but if he comes back near her, it's not there anymore.
Now, what if you take a picture of Tom by himself?
I don't know.
Wow, this is really exciting. This is coming blow by blow from the Hawthorne.
Okay.
Can you guys hear my dog going crazy? No?
No.
Good.
I'm just finishing something.
All right. Joe.
Yes.
We're going to stay on for a little bit because I want to hear what happens with this. And
I have to go because they're kicking us out of here.
Are they really?
Yep.
I thought you had it for the whole night.
No, we're going to go back upstairs.
Oh, I see. They just allowed you to go down there from your rooms.
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right. So it wasn't a set-up thing. It was just a spur-of-the-moment thing?
Oh, it was a place that was, like, a little quiet.
Oh, okay. All right.
There was, like, a party going on in the lobby.
Okay, before we get out of here, Joe, I see that Stan is writing something about... You have a book out?
Yes, I just published my first book. It's entitled The Life and Times of a Paranormal Investigator.
Really? Congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Well, thank
you. Julie. I'm sorry. Lori is a... Laura, was that you signing off? Joe?
I'm here.
Okay, yeah, I guess Lori must have lost the connection or tapped out. I can't see her leaving, though, but without saying goodbye. She might come back in. That's really great, Joe. That's really great. How can we get a hold of this book? Tell everybody how to get a hold of the book.
You can purchase it online at my website, which is ghosthunterjoeclark.webs.com. Or you can order it directly from the company that prints it. Their website is www.lulu.com. That's LULU.
Now I know Stan just put a link in the chat room. So is that the link to your website?
That link is not working.
Okay. Well, if you want to drop the link in there, we got time. We don't have to run, right off the air.
Okay. I'll do that right now.
All right. Let me see if I can get Lori back. Hold on. Okay, guys, there you go. It's in the chat room. www.lulu.com. And that's your website.
That's the Ghost Hunter Joe Clark is my personal website. My group website is Commonwealth-Paranormal.net.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. That was Lori's voicemail. You got, just for the people that are not in the chat room, that's why you got to say it out loud, because there's a ton of people listening out there. I mean, for those of you that are interested, just a little bit of trivia for you. Tuesday night, Para X hit the. I think we had 124,000 listeners.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was, we're up there on the charts. We got listeners from all over the world. We got people from the UK, from Australia, from New Zealand, from the Ukraine, Germany, Italy, France. I mean, there's people all over the world that are listening to us. So what you see in the chat room is not, that's just people that are here in the chat room. We broadcast, worldwide, plus we come in over cell phones. People can listen on their cell phones, their Blackberries, different websites that are not, that are not listed. If you look at the bottom of the Para X website, there's like 4 different icons that you can listen on. And, people that, you don't have to be in the chat room. The majority of our listeners are not in, do not come to the site. They listen at other venues. So we have like, I'll get the stats once in a while. Tom and Dave will send me the stats. We actually have thousands of listeners, So, and especially since now, I mean, in the UK, it's got to be like, I don't know what the time difference is exactly. I think it's like 6 hours. So it's got to be like, 7 o'clock in the morning there, So, we're not on it. I guess our time slot, 11 to 1 a.m., is prime time for, say, the West Coast, It would be like 8 o'clock at night, so that would be prime time on a Saturday. So we more or less accommodate, the West Coast and Central United States as opposed to, the East Coast or Europe and stuff like that. But, I mean, it's you're getting the word out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
What's this book like, Joe?
The book, I just talk about a lot of my investigations, and I also talk about what it's like to have a paranormal group, and some of the hardships of having a paranormal group. Everybody's had their share of the drama, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely.
And I talk about some of that.
That's great. I mean, how many is it? A hardcover or soft cover? Or?
So it's a soft cover.
Will it be available in stores like Barnes and Noble, stuff like that?
No, not right now anyway.
Oh, okay. So it's only available from your website.
From those 2 websites, yes.
Okay. All right, guys, you heard it. Go out and get it, or go out and get it. Go to the website, get the book. I'm sure it's going to be a great read, and it's something that us in the paranormal community sure do know a lot about. I mean, we've all been subject to that, to the drama and the things that go on in the paranormal. So I'm sure it'll be a good read that we can associate with. Right. I'm actually. Lori is actually, before she jumped off, I was going to mention that she actually is on her 3rd book. She's writing her 3rd book at this time, and she's a published author and a very successful one. Paranormal books in the paranormal. All right, Joe. I guess that's it.
All right.
You've been a great guest. We had some all diverse stuff going on tonight. We had some great ghost box stuff, and we also had some stuff coming live from the Hawthorne with Laurie and Para Tom and Julie, which was a nice surprise.
Right.
We had to get we had the opportunity to hear all about Tom's kilt and what was underneath it. And, which was the highlight, I think, of the show. And, I think all in all, we had a great show. I want to thank you for being with us tonight, Joe. You're a fantastic guest. You're a great paranormal investigator. And you're a good champion of ghost box communication. And I hope that, a lot of people take your example and incorporate ghost box communication into their investigations. Because it really does, guys like you help to bring it to the forefront and get it out there and let people know what's going on and let them know that it is a useful tool, for paranormal study and research. So I want to thank you again, brother. And
thanks for having me on.
Any time, man. Anytime if you get something out of the ordinary, if you want to send me a few files that you get, I'll always be happy. Just drop me a line, say, Bruce, here's a few files, play them on the air. I want to get my stuff out there. Or, if you want to come on, all you got to do is just Skype in or whatever when I'm on here. I mean, you're more than welcome to come on and, if you got something to say or you got something to promote or whatever the case may be, you got it. All right?
All right, appreciate that.
All right, Joe. I'm going to say goodbye to you now, and then I'm going to close out the show, and I'll be posting the podcast on my website. You're a member of my Yahoo group, right?
I sure do.
Okay.
I was on it earlier, actually.
All right. So when the podcast is up, I'll just drop a post in the group. I'm sure you get it, right? You won't have to go over there and read it.
Right.
Okay, so just look for that, and it'll be up by tomorrow afternoon. So,
okay.
All right, buddy, and I'll look forward to talking to you soon. And like I said, thanks for being on, and we'll get together soon. All right, Joe.
All right.
Thanks, buddy. Okay, guys. I'm sorry Lori left so abruptly, but they must have been roused them out of that room they were in, and it's a shame because they just started to get some activity in there. Joe Clark, great guest. Commonwealth Paranormal, they're out there doing the deed. They're out there getting the information, getting the validation, getting the proof for us, and that's what we need. We need people out there on the front lines doing the work, and championing the ghost box communication and the use of the ghost box out in the field. Stan, thanks for being in the chat room. Blade, thanks for being in the chat room, coming to support Joe. And all the other people that were in the chat room that participated tonight, came to listen to the show. Thanks a lot, guys. We depend on your coming to listen to us. Otherwise, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here. Everybody out there that's not in the chat room that's listening, thanks a lot. Thanks for coming. Thanks for listening. Thanks for staying awake. This is Bruce Halliday for myself and my co-host Lori Hull, who had to abruptly exit due to circumstances beyond her control. She's in Salem, Massachusetts, and she had to run. For both of us, actually, Lori's show tomorrow. Lori's show airs tomorrow at 7 p.m. Sunday, 7 p.m. Chat People Radio. She'll be on tomorrow. I don't know who her guest is going to be, but since she's not here to give a plug for the show, I'm going to do it for her. So catch Chat People Radio tomorrow, 7 o'clock, right here on Para X. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you next week. Okay, have a good week. Be safe. God bless.